All right, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Matrix Dialogues. I'm your host, Austin Boozer. This is episode 25 today, episode number 25. Never thought I would do this, let alone for this long. Almost a year now. One more episode, it'll be a year straight of doing this. It's a Mother's Day episode, so I guess we'll just lead with a happy Mother's Day to all the hot moms, and the not hot moms too, I guess. But especially the hot moms for sure. Happy Mother's Day collectively to all the moms out there. We appreciate you and we love you, and we wouldn't be here without you. So shout out to you. If you have a mom, tell her you love her. Definitely. Tell her you appreciate her, because you don't know how much time you have left with her, and time's precious. So, and it's her day. It's the least you could do. Don't be a dick. With that being said, I'm honored and excitedly nervous to have my own mom here today. She's thrilled, if you can't tell. If you know her, you know that she's usually got plenty to say. So the fact that she's this quiet is an indication of how excited she is. I'm gonna ramp her up. We're gonna get her going today. So we'll get her in her normal form with time. But how you doing, Mom?
Doing all right.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask me again in 5 minutes.
Okay. You've listened to a few of these, so you kind of know how it goes.
Yes.
So you have that comfort and assurance, at least. It's not completely foreign to you, at least. It's not like, oh, fuck.
Well, it might be like that a little bit inside. I'm just keeping it in.
You're doing great.
I'm being honest.
What do you got any shout outs you want to make to anyone today?
You're a turd.
My mom has a woman crush. I mean, I it's fairly placed. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but
I wouldn't call it a crush. She's just pretty fabulous.
Admiration.
Alex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Alex. My mom thinks you're great, as I've told you many times. You are pretty great, but my mom thinks so as well.
I mean, it was my favorite I've probably listened to almost half.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten through all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, my grandson has to be my favorite, but Alex it was very inspiring and very like get off your ass, among other things.
Yeah.
So it was very positive, and it just hit something. So, but I mean, there were some others that I laughed through. I was like captivated with, but that one just stuck out more than the others. That's not an insult to anybody else. It's just, if it wasn't meant for anybody else, it was meant for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that if it was only meant for one person, I'm glad it was meant for you. So I'm glad you're able to take something away from it, and glad that I have such great friends to share these experiences with, and just give something back to. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but still doing it, and it's still growing and slowly, but that's yeah. But and more importantly, I do love doing this. I do. I stress myself out probably too much, and like I do in most things in my life, but about how good it is, or how fast, or how whatever quality based thing, but enjoy it.
If you stress yourself out, you hide it well. Because no.
You know me. You know I fucking live stressed.
But you hide it, and by doing this, you hide your stress. Now, what behind the scenes, and stuff, but you hide it well.
I just use it as
motivation.
No, just fuel to go forward. We're just using it as momentum, keep us going forward. So, yeah, I mean, I said before we started, but it's true. I'm pretty excited about this one.
Okay, you get excited, and I'm going to be terrified.
Well, you'll get comfortable. It'll be okay. I'll tell you. I'll give you why I'm excited. I'm excited because, for anyone who doesn't know, this nuanced or like normal relationship that we have now hasn't always been like that.
No.
No. And that's okay. We have it now, and that's what I care about. So that's one. That's why I'm excited that, for longer than not, I didn't know that we would ever get to this point.
Right.
So I'm one, as I tell you frequently, like, very grateful for it. That means a lot to me. And two, because it's a cool thing that, 10 years from now, like, we can look back on it and it'll still be there. And, unfortunately you won't live forever. And so one day I'll be able to look at this, and it's like something I realized yesterday, unfortunately, was that, like, I struggle to remember my dad's voice.
Yeah.
And I know that in some capacity now, I'll always be able to hear yours. And so that's important to me, right? This is not solely just this thing I'm doing, but this unique legacy, if you will, that that I'm leaving behind. Right. That even Bentley
and Bentley's kids.
Yeah, I can just however long the internet's a thing for, they can go find it. And so that's what I'm excited about.
Great grandma.
Right. That'd be a hell of a time. So, that's why it's exciting to me, is because it's something that supersedes and can very easily outlive both of us.
Right.
So that's why I'm excited. And again, selfishly, just because, as I get a little bit older, and I was talking to Jennifer the other day about how, it seems like kind of, and maybe you've had more decades, quite literally, than me. It's not me calling you old. It's just you have.
Only like 2.
Well, that's a lot.
Turd.
I'm only at 3. So, but with that being said, that kind of like every 10 years we kind of change who we are. Like our and what I mean by this, like our perspective, our goals, what's important to us now. Like what you care about right now is probably not what you care about 30 or 40 or 20. Like so, and that's kind of how it should be. But going from 20 to 30 is kind of the first time I've like really had the realization of like what was the most important thing to me at 20 maybe doesn't jive for me super hard right now. And I know collectively what in 10 years is going to be the most important thing probably isn't what's the most important thing to me right now. And that's relieving, because there are certain parts of me that I'm like, oh my fucking God, I hate this, but like, if this is forever, my God, I'm going to have a rough one in certain aspects. So it's relieving, but also terrifying, because it's like, well, what's going to be the thing in 10 years? And am I just going to trade things I dislike about me now for a different set of things that I'll dislike?
Yeah, but you're ever growing. Mm-hmm. So what you didn't like 20 years ago, there's still going to be 1 or 2 things in your closet that you're never going to like. I have them.
Yeah.
But they're going to evolve as you do. Maybe get a little less important. Mm-hmm. In other words, what's important at 30 is not as important at 40 or 50.
Yeah.
So maybe just, there's still, you're never going to get past all of them.
Yeah. So what would it be if you got
define
past?
Who you are.
Yeah.
So, but.
Wouldn't be fun if you figured it all out.
God, no. Where's the fun in that?
I've heard some of my older friends say, they think that it holistically gets better. I mean, I can say 20 to 30. 30's pretty, 30's looking pretty great right now from where I'm at in my life compared to if you would have asked me 9 years ago what I thought.
Oh, well.
Can you say it's like like 20 to 30 versus 30, 40 now, 40 to 50, and now you're in your early 50s now. Have you said like with time it's gotten better?
Some aspects have. And others have not.
Do you care to elaborate on any of this? Or maybe just some context on what you mean.
If you don't take care at 20, there's things at 40 or 50.
Start to show up. They start to show up.
Yes. So those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just you're gonna pay for doing a wild and crazy thing and doing stupid things.
Yeah.
Everything makes you who you are at this moment. But there's the body catches up, the mind catches up, and then so. But physically, getting older part sucks. But
does getting older suck, or is it like you said there because maybe you ignored some or had ignorance on some of those maintenance things?
Yes, that's highly possible.
Yeah,
or just you burn the candle at both ends.
Yeah,
you do you go because that seems the only thing to do at that time, or the only option. But then you're go, and ignoring things that you shouldn't. They catch up with you.
Yeah.
And so, but then you learn what to do with them, and you keep going.
Yeah.
Not gonna sit around and just let it define who you are. You just okay, keep going.
Yeah.
So
that's something I have a pretty big holistic fear of. Honestly, is I'm competence wise and ability to learn from a neurological standpoint. Over the next course of the next 10 years of my life, I'll be the smartest I'll ever be. Like, this is the smartest I will ever be. With like learning new information, I'm able to understand, gain intellectual prowess or speed forward. Like, this is it. This next 8 to 10 years of my life, this is, as I have combining like historic learning with wisdom and experience, like to put me in a position where like now I can like rapidly like really retain it. And as someone who, that's kind of what makes me good right now. Like, that's an asset for me. And to think that one day that's not like, that seesaw will start to set.
But knowledge and wisdom are two different things.
I know, but I'm saying with time, you have wisdom.
Yes.
Right. And like right now I'm good because I have a lot of knowledge.
Right.
And I guess it terrifies me to think that one day, like, I won't have as much knowledge.
Dogs do learn new tricks.
I just mean that I've seen other people talk about how who are scientists or doctors or something, saying like things I did in my 30s. I look back now at 60 and I'm like, I can't even wrap my mind around what I was thinking then, or how like to get through like that level of like complexity or a problem like that. Like, I can't do that now. And it's like, so they didn't become dumber, but like, just again, like how powerful the mind is right now is like, I'm at the, like, this is peaking. Like, this is it. This is the prime time of my brain. Again, like with time, like, again, like you said, like there's a reason that changes, and there's a reason you go from being hungry for like the go and the need for new knowledge, new understanding, new perspective. And then you're like, okay, like I have enough experience to now start to use that as my leverage.
Right.
You know, I don't need the knowledge anymore. Like, cause I've seen enough of it to where I have things that knowledge can't give me, that only experience can. And I think, you know, so it does shift, but I guess maybe as someone who does rely on their intelligence holistically right now, that feels terrifying to me. To think that like the thing that makes me, in my eyes, the best is going to fade with time.
But this too shall pass.
I wish that made it easier in the moment.
I can't. I've never been super intelligent, like, as far as, I'm not dumb. That's not what I'm saying.
I think you're pretty smart.
I'm not a brain surgeon or a neuroscientist or, you know, have a PhD in something. I have a hunger for knowledge.
Yeah.
But that's more out of a want to, not a I have to have it.
Yeah.
I've never been necessarily book smart, but I've gained lots of street smart isn't the right word, just life.
Yeah. Just experience.
Mostly by doing it the hard way.
It's a way to learn.
Hey, that's hot. Yeah, I know, but I'm still going to touch it to see how hot it is.
You're
then I'm going to learn how to treat my burn so it doesn't last too long.
So I can try it again. No, like that's I feel, as I've mentioned to you before, my intellect is very much comes from you, and my willpower to do things is driven from you. Like, I'm, as you know, and how I live my life, I take on a lot and I do a lot, and I don't stop. Like, I have this, like, what makes me good is that I want to know more, I want to figure it out, I want to get better, and I apply that completely through every aspect of my life. Now, at least. I didn't always, but now I do. With the show, with working on me, with being a dad, with our relationship, with my career, with new things I'm working on, you know. Like, for me, it's like once the curiosity fully hits, it's like there has to be action to follow it. I can't just wonder or think about it because it haunts me. And
Yeah, you definitely got more of the, oh, I can't do it? Here, hold my beer.
in some ways, yeah, I guess I did.
That's what motivates me. Tell me I can't do it.
I think for a long time that was me. Now it's just me and myself doing that. It's like, can we learn that? Can we do this? Well, let's find out. So it's not even anyone externally challenging me. I think it's just me challenging myself now.
Well,
As with time, it's shifted. It was for a long time about me proving to others or showing other people that I could do the things that they maybe told me.
In the simplest form of it, when you're showing others, you're showing yourself.
Yeah.
And when you doubt yourself, those times help. Like when I was younger.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When you weren't sure about it in yourself and someone said you couldn't and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it can definitely be a tool to push you forward for sure.
Yeah.
Some external doubt or disbelief, if you will.
Right.
Yeah, can definitely help spark the flame, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was telling Bentley and Abby, I was talking to them about doubt this past week actually, and I said, doubt is if you had to create a hierarchy of emotions to make peace with and like get really comfortable and like build a good relationship with, I think for me, doubt has got to be at the top of the list because it's the only emotion that actually gives you or feeling that gives you nothing. There's nothing about doubt that like does anything for you. It just actually like ruins progress. It slows you down. It makes you second guess everything you do. Like being afraid, it's like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, you can be afraid and still do it anyway.
Right.
And you can be angry and you can use that for fuel to push you harder, or
right.
the you can't to again push you harder. But doubt just really like detriments every aspect of moving forward or making progress in an area. So to me, in the hierarchy of feelings, emotions to get really comfortable with and like shake hands with and try and, hey, okay, I know you're here, but like, let me try and make as good of a relationship with you as I can as early as possible would be doubt, because it does nothing for you. Like there is no pluses in the attribute box for doubt. No. It is only minuses in every attribute. So,
and it's sneaky too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's another reason that I do try to do so much in so many things now collectively is because you're a parent, obviously. Here we are. But you could speak a foreign language to them, and like they're going to watch you more than they're going to hear you.
Oh God, yes.
And so I don't want to give to them the view of you said these things but you didn't do them, and that's why sometimes I don't say a whole lot or as much as maybe I think I need to at times, because I would rather just do it, live it,
right?
Be present in that moment.
Walk it.
Yeah.
Don't just talk it.
Because eventually, they will call you out on
it. Pot kettle, right?
Right.
I don't know.
But and we've had that conversation as well before, where then it's seen as disrespect, but really it's just your ego is fractured, because that version of you that you told don't do this thing, but I'm doing it, is now going, hey motherfucker, you're a hypocrite. And you're like, no, you're rude, you don't have manners, that's disrespectful. It's like, oh no, they're just like using their brain. That's simple logic. They're going, hey, you said don't do these things, but hey, you're doing all these things that are the things you said not to do. What the fuck's up with that? Don't worry about me. You do what I said. It's like, well, yeah. I hear you, but like, you can't even do what you say. So how the fuck am I supposed to do that? Yeah. And that's selfishly, I don't want that.
It's understandable.
And I think it's somewhat avoidable. Like you can't hit every box that way, but I want to try and leave as few of them unchecked, or to limit the potential for that to be present.
And as parents, as a mom anyway, the younger you are, the stupider you are were the things you say.
What do you mean by that? Give us an example. It's for the folks at home. What do you mean by that?
How we can regurgitate what our parents would say to us, to you, to our children. And then you look back on it when you're a little older and you're like, that was a really dumb thing to say. And that was really dumb for my parents to tell me that. And why the hell am I doing it now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I said so? What is that?
Oh, I've told you and I've had that before. Don't even get me. You're trying to ramp me up. I hate the I said so shit. I don't believe or do the I said so. And people may, I don't know anyone.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, what?
What is that?
What the fuck does that mean? Motherfucker, I'm watching you. What do you mean? Like, you're literally creating a discrepancy in real life in front of me. What do you mean don't do that?
I mean, and it comes back even to you do that, and then so many things as you learn as the parent learns. Sorry, you know, you get a little wiser, and you're like, God, I really screwed them up. And then how do I fix that?
Yeah.
Without looking like an idiot. It's not even about looking like an idiot. And honestly, the older you get, the less you care about what people think. Or do they like me? Or do they think that...
I don't think you've ever been one to care too much about if people liked you. Okay.
But I'm around people, and even grown people my age now, that they're so concerned or wrapped up with what other people think.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about disrespecting people. I'm just talking about your own worth. Trying to determine it based off what others think of you.
Yeah. Like, are you okay with you? Like, are you okay with who you are?
Now?
No. But I mean, like, that's what, like, most people don't do that, right? They're like, well, what is Tommy or Michelle or what do they all think of me? It's like, it's not, what do I think of me?
Exactly.
Yeah, no. And
exactly.
I don't know. I have
I understand why there's value in it.
Yeah.
But you cannot let it.
Like anything.
Your own worth is not based on what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
It has to be you first.
Yeah, there's a limit to it. Like, there's a finite point where it's actually it's no longer good. It's no longer aiding me in anything.
Right.
It's actually just.
And if it's holding you back or causing you to be less of yourself, then that's a problem.
It's a good. That's that time of the episode for anyone who's listened to enough of these. Maybe you'll pick up on it. You've listened to enough to maybe catch it. As Alex Hormozy would say, in 2 or 3 generations, everyone, including you, will be dead, and no one will have give a fuck who you are anyway. Like 100 years from now, you and everyone you know will probably be dead.
Right.
Will it matter then? And if the answer is no, then it shouldn't matter now.
Exactly.
You know, and again, like, it is. Sure, that sounds very easy to say, and it's much harder to live that than not. But there's something in it, and again, like you said, more people should be okay with just thinking of, am I okay with me?
Right.
And to what you kind of alluded to there a minute ago, on, because it's something I guess that we haven't had the chance to like discuss in a setting like this. Oh, my knee. I constantly feel that fear of, am I fucking them up right now? Like, right. Is this thing gonna ruin them? You know, or on the other side of, here I sit in front of you. I'll be 30 soon, and you know.
When I was 30, you were 7.
Yes. Anybody who can do math, there you go. So, I guess, what's the proper way to like phrase my question here is, how do you, like, have you been able to make peace with some of those things now? Like, now that, like, you know, time has gone by. Like, are you?
You mean like with you or with?
Just in general.
Just in general? Yes, I have.
Does time just give you that? Is it one of those things with time you just get it? Like, it kind of.
I don't know if it's just time or life experience as you go through and you see like if it's a relationship, and if it's a personal relationship with a partner or a spouse, that because of being so young, it just seems when you thought that was all you ever wanted and all you would ever need. And then you realize you were both just too young and dumb to even know how to fight for it. It was easier to just be like,
I'm done with it.
I'm done. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess like with...
But I think it could even still allude to, though, learning what's important in your 20s and what's important in your 30s. And, as you evolve and age and go through it, it's... If you're not learning from doing it right, or... I don't want to say wrong anymore. Sorry. Alex changed my way. You win or you learn.
Yeah.
And if you're not open to learning, you're going to just be in a miserable, stagnant place.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's just things that I've done, like about how I've acted or handled a scenario, and I'm very willing to apologize and like own fuck-ups in that way. But I wonder, is it gonna fuck him up later, or is it gonna impact him in a way, or like is that? And like anything, obviously, that one individual moment isn't
right.
The thing, and I try to be intentional enough to say, hey, okay, maybe I didn't do that the right way. I could have handled that scenario better, to educate him, not just in the way of one, this is how you apologize to someone,
right?
But two, but also to help him with the perspective of understanding, like this is how you correct a scenario that you get wrong. That most of the time, if you do make a mistake, you just have to be willing to admit that you made a mistake.
Yes.
And
that, at the time, that's hard.
Yeah, it's not easy. Fuck. It's brutal.
But let me put it to you this way. Your 10-year-old did a podcast with you.
Yeah.
Way back 21 episodes ago? 20 episodes ago? Mm-hmm. What was it, 4 or 5? I don't remember.
Yeah, 5.
So, at 10.
Yeah.
His responses should at least give you a small clue.
Yeah, no, it did.
You're not.
It was one of the most...
You're equipping him a hell of a lot better than I equipped you.
I made it all right, though. Man, I mean... I'm pretty mean to people in the way of... At some point, you got to just figure it the fuck out.
You do.
It can't be... You can't be holding her hand, or well, and you can't continue to be 27, 31, 43 and go, well, mom and dad didn't teach me that, or because of... You
can't keep using excuses.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, or like, well, my dad left when I was 6. It's like, you're 38.
Didn't he leave yesterday?
Yeah, like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, he ain't coming back. Like, I hate to tell you. He went out for milk, and that motherfucker forgot the milk. And you. And maybe if you just get over that shit, your life would be better. And that's not to dismiss anyone's hardship, but at a certain point, you just gotta move forward, because you
can't let people live rent free.
Well, but you already, like, I think the mind frame the mental frame that's helped me move forward in a lot of aspects of my life to this day is that you already know what that mindset's gotten you. You're living it already.
Right.
Like, you are living what the current ideology's output has for you. So if you're not happy with that, or you want something else, then you're going to have to do something else. So a phrase I've patented. You can't patent a phrase, but I'm calling it my phrase because I've not heard anyone else of it. The phrase is, what's the alternative? Like, you already know what right now is giving you. You're living those repercussions, those consequences, those effects. So if any way you're unhappy with that, then the only thing that you can do now is something else.
Yep, do something different.
Yeah. Because that is the only alternative to this. Yeah. So whether you got what you need or you don't got what you need, you got to figure it out at some point. Mm-hmm. And again, like we said before too, so yeah, at some point, you just got to figure it out. Can't spend your whole life just complaining about what you didn't get. Because you can make a choice now to get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a tough thing for people to get in the mental frame of, realizing that they can do something about it. It's not gonna be easy, but you can. Like you can.
Right.
And if you want something different, you're gonna have to. Okay, so I did prepare some questions, but I didn't plan to use them. But I want to kind of throw some rapid fire ones at you to just get you a little bit more comfy before we get to the deep stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Looking back, what version of yourself were you the most proud of becoming before you became a mom?
Oh, before I became a mom.
She became a mom pretty early. She was like me. She's 19. Yeah.
The version that was flunking out of high school.
You were a wild one back then.
I was something. I'm not.
Don't make me make you tell the story of how you at 13 took the car for a joyride.
No, I was 14.
Oh, 14.
Yeah.
She was wild.
Yeah. But the version of me that went from flunking out after my dad passed away when I was 15.
Yeah.
To mom sent me away, but it was really the smartest thing.
Yeah.
It was the right thing at that time.
Yeah.
And then I graduated at 16. Went to college and was still 16. My freshman, the first week. And did it with, the grading system was way harder, and so I brought that failing thing up to a high B average. So before I got married and had kids, I was.
You're proud of that?
I was.
You should be.
I busted my butt to do it, and yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, knowing the amount of things I know now, I've been one about you, but then just about the stuff that happens in our brains and psychologically from those kind of events. I mean, it's not hard to see why you got into the position you were in at that point in your life. You're just in a lot of distress emotionally at that point in your life, and again, partially because you can't really recognize it as that.
Right.
You're just like, what the fuck are all these things that I'm feeling in here that I can't understand? And
teenage years just suck in general.
It's not a good time.
And trying to figure it out, and it's. I'm not saying it's easier now. It's different now, because when I was a teenager, it wasn't cell phones and social and the internet. It wasn't a thing back then. I mean, I remember when call waiting was a thing, when that was a new thing. Okay.
I told Bentley today about dial up, so I get it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I say this is, I think that's part of what makes life getting better with age a thing, because now I can put this emotion in a box, and then that's what this is. That's what sorrow or anguish or pain is. That's actually what it is. It's this thing. But when you're even 15, like, you don't know how to put that shit in a box and define it and make peace with it. It's just this thing that's very present in you, but you don't know what it's doing or why it's there to some extent, or how to get it to go the fuck away, or to manage to continue to do normal things with it.
And mine was never I guess they like to call it like cookie cutter. You know, there was a certain way things went for maybe 30 or 40% of society, and that was portrayed as what a normal teenager or a normal kid was back then, and I was nothing even close to that.
Yeah, you didn't fit the box at all.
I throw that thing out the damn window.
Yeah, it wasn't you.
But I was also raised by a single mom.
Yeah.
And she did the best she could.
Yeah.
So she's raising 2 girls at, 3 years apart, and she's a school teacher. So she's dealing with the insanity all day long and then dealing with us.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy for her either.
Yeah. Well, like we've talked about, we've kind of discussed our family dichotomy that we won't backtrack through for everyone here listening today.
No.
But like there's to do something that you didn't have or be something that you didn't know is challenging in any aspect. And again, the way I think parenting holistically has shifted in the 2 generations since like the way you were raised to the way you raised me to like how I'm raising the kids now. It's different.
Yeah.
Some ways better, some ways worse.
Right.
I think there's a better, clearer understanding, like you said, maybe with just the more prevalent amount of information that we have in my generation now, to understand, that's how these things happen. Like that's what led to this. And to caveat off that, like change is so hard. That's why so few people actually do it. It's just like you said earlier, to like when parents will say like, do as I say, not as I do. And you're like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like what?
Right.
Versus like, like they're just doing what they were told.
Right.
Like they're just replicating what was done and said to them. Because that's like, it really takes some hard willpower and intentionality to
break away from it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
or break the mold. Say it's not.
And I don't mean this meanly to you, but like there's things that I do that like you did that I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck how am I doing that?
Right.
Because like it is just like what I like is implanted back there. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like I want to like respond differently or move in accordance a different way. And like that's where you find out like how bad do you actually want to do it? Because you will like be forced to try to do something different. Like it's not just going to happen for you. Okay, so we kind of strayed a bit, but anyway.
You do that a lot.
I know.
I've listened to enough to know that.
Yeah, but I always like I try to bring it back.
Yeah.
This will be a good one. What lesson did you try the hardest to teach me, even if I didn't listen?
Do you want just one?
I mean, what it... Fuck, I mean, if you got them like that, go ahead, lay them out there.
It's not a lot.
No, I mean...
But one of them that seemed the hardest, even as you were older teenager, but you have gotten there. Okay. So now was it was mind-boggling how much I wanted to beat my head in a wall. Accountability, not making excuses.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to insult you.
No, I mean, I know.
And then also the other one was the you've taken it and evolved, the doing things to prove to yourself, or somebody says you can't do it. I even tried that, like with discipline, like tried reverse psychology with you, like I thought it would work. You can't do that. You can't do that. All I wanted was you to like, no, I can fucking do it.
Yeah. I think I was too.
There it is. There's the first one. Sorry. I'm
much more sensitive than I think you gave me credit for a lot of my growing up life.
Yeah.
And still am. I'm very open about it now. At least with you and people I care about. I mean, obviously, if they listen to the show, they'll know, but they don't know the extent of it. But I'm much more sensitive to the words of those I care about than most people would initially believe. And it does like just kind of like sit on me heavy. And so I think is the way you were trying to, and I only have learned this in my own life from now having a child who's insanely just like me and very sensitive, is that in my perspective now, yes, that mindset would work now at 30, right? But at 10 or 12, like it didn't. And it just actually had a more like negative
effect.
Right. And it just made me think like, I can't do it. Like, see, even she says I can't do it. And I don't say that to make you feel, but I'm just saying like, I know what it did to me then.
Right.
And because I've seen it happen in my own things that I've done. And I've had to be like, okay, this isn't working. Why? Well, because that would work for me right now, but maybe that's not going to work for him.
Right.
And like, okay, so if it's not working, well then like I need to try something else.
Yeah. And see, at times I thought this was my thinking of something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes it would seem like just trying to teach in a teachable moment or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting nowhere. So I'm like, well, let's try something else. And so when that didn't work, I'm sitting there going, what the heck am I supposed to do? I didn't know.
Just more trials. Unfortunately. Sorry, it wasn't so easy.
But it's not all on you because I was also, I mean, I wasn't a child, but I was still young.
Yeah, you were young.
And I didn't know any better. I didn't know what to do next.
Yeah.
And I questioned my own ability because enough people had questioned my ability. Yeah. So I'm like, well, maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I've learned none of us do. Even the people who act like they do or will say they do, like they don't know. I always tell people I can tell you a whole bunch of things I know don't work.
Yeah.
But even those things are circumstantial and dependent upon the person in front of you. Just because they didn't work for me or with Melanie or with you, doesn't mean they won't work for someone else.
Right.
But I'll give you the variables of the things I know that why it didn't work. And I think, some of it is we don't believe our parents, right?
Yeah.
Like we just don't. We just don't. Especially from like 12 to 20, you're just convinced.
Oh, God, yeah.
They don't know shit. Right. And then, you get in your early 20s and you're like, fuck, everything they said, here it is. Like every day in my fucking face. Like, why didn't I listen to that? But because how we learn is by doing it. We experience it.
Yeah.
And then we go, oh, shit.
And the real part is when you get to this point, like we are, and you're like, yeah, you might have been right, but I wouldn't tell you back then.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because I had to do that with my mom, too.
Yeah. It's the beauty of it, though. Like, I think that's what is the ability to come back to it later and say, like, hey, I know what you were trying to do then. And I'm like, sorry, I was just a kid. I was just dumb. I needed to fuck it up. I think something I fight today still to elaborate on that a bit further for you, because that's really who this conversation's for anyway. I just was so at a discrepancy in self-confidence.
I get that.
Even really till probably like the last 5 or 6 years of my life. Let alone definitely as a kid.
Right. No, absolutely.
That I think that's what drove the lack of accountability thing for me. It's because I just really had no ability to believe that I could do things anyway. So I was like, well, how can I own them?
Right.
How can I do anything differently?
Right.
If I don't even think I can do it. Like if I don't even can I even own my fuck up? So yeah, now I'm quick to. I don't think you ever enjoy it.
No.
I don't think accountability is ever a fun trait to have or be strong in, but it's easier. Like with time.
And the more you do it,
it gets better. It gets easier.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, so accountability and the want to, I guess, like have a drive for something. Maybe is a better way to.
And like I said, you've more than made up for it at this point.
Yeah. I don't think you did. You listen? You haven't listened to the last episode, have you? No,
I have not.
Oh, I said in there that the only reason I think you liked the reel I posted the other day of it though, where I said like the only reason that you didn't get it right is because you didn't get it right. Like the only reason that like you weren't accountable is because you weren't accountable. The only reason you didn't have confidence because you didn't have the confidence. The only reason you were overweight is because you were overweight.
Right.
Like so that the thing that you're like, that's like ruined, like that. I wasted that time. I can't believe I didn't know that. Like, well, you only know it because now, like because of the experiencing of doing it and being in that state.
Right.
And so like without the state of it existing, like then you wouldn't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Something I try to pose to people to be a bit more appreciative of. Like, as I've said before too, I don't know if you listen, I don't remember what episode it's from, but there's things that there's things that you like today and who you are that came out of things that you don't like.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
Whether that's perseverance, courage, just gratitude, strength, whatever attribute it is, like it probably came from a thing that you're not very fond of.
Yes.
But it only came because of that thing.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of the big sappy, sad one. I didn't even tell you what happened to me yesterday because I was saving it for today. Because it happened at midnight last night, unfortunately. But we'll get into it. But I firmly believe I'm only the man I am now. And one of the big attributes of that is because I don't have my dad. Because I was pushed into the reality of now I have to be a man. I can't rely on someone else anymore to tell me or show me or make excuses for me and like, you know, stand in front of me and catch the damage from the choices I've created. I've asked the question, you know, we've talked about it before, like when do you become a man? You know, like when is that period in a boy's life that you become a man? And I think the truth is really when you take responsibility for something other than you.
Yeah.
And I was responsible for that in a multitude of ways. I was a father. But then I was also having to take responsibility for other things that weren't me now. Of like his stuff and taking care of like managing and doing the funeral thing and like all these things that I was like, I don't know how to do any of that shit.
Those are the grown-up things that you don't get trained for and they suck.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Not necessarily for my dad, but
yeah.
I mean, I did lose my dad young, but the grown-up stuff that
it's not a fun time. But again, like it makes you.
It does.
You know, and as I'm now almost 11 years outside of him not being here, as much as when people ask you, what's something you could change if you could change anything, you know, my emotional reaction is always to say, like, I wish he was here.
Yeah.
You know, but I know that the trickle down of that would be I wouldn't be who I am now if he was here. Yeah. And so that I would arguably give time off my life for time with him.
Yeah.
But again, I know that wouldn't put the version of me that sits here today to be here. Doesn't make it suck less, but it's something I'm aware of.
Right.
Ooh, here's a good one. Were there moments you felt like you failed as a parent, and what did those moments teach you?
Oh, good grief. I don't know if we have enough tape for this. Or video,
She's
whatever.
Old. She said tape. You gotta have tape in the roller.
Leave me alone. Sorry, I'm not a spring
She said, let
anymore.
me get my cassette out and my Super 8 film strip.
I did know VHS, okay? Thank you.
Okay, sorry. We did kind of.
But cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Anyway, there was a lot.
I guess like give me like just one. I can assume some, but that's not fair or nice.
Because it wasn't always.
Like if someone maybe is a parent right now and they're kind of struggling, what are things you can offer them as like a, hey, like one, it's supposed to be like that, and here's why I know it's supposed to be like that because you've lived it, you've experienced it.
Right. Right. I remember one of my friends told me, if you don't kill him,
that's a good start.
You're doing something right.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're not doing things wrong. But that's what her mother even told her. She's like, if you don't kill them in the first year of their life,
you got it right.
You've got something right. So, and then she had 5 kids. So, you know.
Fuck.
So, God, I don't even know where to start. And it's not just you, it's your sister too. So,
yeah.
You know. And it's more out of ignorance.
Yeah, you just don't know anything.
You don't know better. I mean,
it's everyone's first time with their first time, you know.
Right.
I tell people.
And you can it can be the first time with a boy and with a girl because
it's different.
It's so totally different. But still, like her shutting her hand in the door, like I thought I was gonna die going to the hospital, rushing her to the ER.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see her hand, and I closed the door, and it got caught like where the hinges are, that part of it, and like smushed them. They were flat. She was like 18 months old, but I was like, I just broke all the bones in her fingers. But things like that, you know.
Yeah.
And then, oh gosh, I used to tell myself I was a bad parent a lot.
I think
and so that may be part of the problem too.
Yeah. I think we all do that.
Huh?
I think we all do that.
Yeah.
I do it.
Things that you do, like rushing, trying to do things, laying the car seat on something, and baby falls down.
Yeah. I was the baby, if anyone's curious.
I mean, and that doesn't even count when they get in school or you know, they're climbing on something, or you even threaten to beat the hell out of you. When we were kids, it was, I'm gonna beat you in the next week.
Yeah.
I can't narrow it down to just one.
Yeah.
I mean, because with you, by the time you got 15 and hit that late growth spurt, you were bigger than me. I wasn't messing with you.
Don't let her fucking lie to you. This woman put her goddamn hands on me well after that, okay?
No, you quit.
You were a lie. You just went
15, you were like 5'10".
You were still slapping the shit out of me at fucking 16, 17, open hand to my chest.
Oh, well, that's
she put hands on. She put hands on me. God damn it! All right, don't let her fucking fool you. She's nice and sweet now. When I was 16, 17,
he bruised my hand the last time I tried to bust his ass.
That's because she was dumb and hit me with her bare
11,
hand.
12. I had the biggest purple and black. So I said I would never hit his butt again.
For everyone watching, I'm gonna have to find a way to do like a little like scan on this photo because I'm gonna show y'all what I looked like at 12 or 13. I found a photo.
Oh my God.
That I wanted to show you. We have some other photos in here we'll have to talk about.
What in the world?
Look at me. I was 12 there.
Oh my God.
I was kind of fit. Like, look, I mean, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Your butt was fit.
But I was pretty fit for 12.
But
I mean, people
I
are gonna
learned
know.
watching wrestling. One of the things that actually physically hurts, you see the red, is open hand, slap him on the chest. So that's that.
She was assaulting me as the short.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just kidding.
Whatever.
I'm just kidding. It's I mean, I'm grown now. You can't do anything anyway. We've already walked that road once, but no. Yeah, I mean, so I guess just essentially there we can take away that the idea or fear of or illusion of failure is just part of having the job.
Yes, actually, you know what? Now that I can come up with one thing,
okay.
it was my reality check, because there was a time I was working 2 jobs, and they were restaurant jobs, so that just sucked, and I was going to school.
I remember those
2 days a week, and I mean it was only 2 days, but those 2 days were spent at school. Like
you're gone all day.
Yeah, and then still working 2 other jobs, and I was like, but I get through this, I'll be good. But in the middle of it, you got me one time. You're like, Mom, can you just quit one of your jobs so you can be home more? And you're like 7 or 8. And that was like, oh, wow, I'm doing more harm than good right here.
Yeah.
My intention isn't that.
Yeah.
My intentions were pure, but my actions were just like, that one statement, I was like, and I quit one of them.
I remember
like,
that, yeah. Not long
within a
after
day or
that,
two.
yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. Because it had been like I think I was 8, almost 9 then. I remember that. And I know I was terrified to even say that to you. And I did, but it had been like a string of probably like a month or so where like I think I'd seen you like just in passing basically.
Right.
You know, because you were always busy, and then I like when you were at home or something, like I was at school or you know, whatnot. So I didn't really like see you hardly for like a substantial amount of time.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, obviously, like as a kid, I just wanted to see my mom. You know, and I didn't say it to like make you feel bad. I just
no, but it was just enough, and it wasn't even like said in a bad way. But it was just one of those. When I walked away from it, I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
It was a gut punch.
Wow.
So.
How do you see me now compared to when I was growing up?
Which side of you?
I think there's only one side of me. The side
but
you
there's
see.
layers.
Well, yeah, but the version you've always seen me for me. Like the view we get as a
Initially,
parent.
it was something I dreamed of and never thought I would get.
Mm. What do you mean by that?
There was a lot of bumpy roads.
Yeah.
And I always tried to tell you you could do whatever you wanted to and what you set your mind to. But it was almost I didn't know if we'd get there.
Mm.
I didn't know if you would get there.
Yeah.
That's not an insult, but you did.
Yeah.
So the fact that, and you did it your way. It wasn't a way I would have.
I've kind of
written up for you.
Kind of been pretty insistent on that, unfortunately.
It wouldn't have been a way I would have written it up for you, but then that's kind of like me in some ways too, because I'm sure somebody didn't write my story up the way it's turned out for the last 52 years.
Yeah.
So you're pretty. So you need an exact.
Well, no, I'm just curious. Like, that's just a question I've never like asked you, but I guess kind of always have been somewhat curious about. We've had offhand conversations about it,
right?
You know, but never directly.
You've come full circle, and you're starting a new one, or a second one, or a third one,
or something.
Maybe it's just the 8. It never stops.
That feels more accurate for me. I guess, do you like something I can't step out of myself enough to be aware of, but are there like things about me that are still very much me today that were me before? Kind of things that have always like remained, I guess.
Yes.
In who I am.
I meant words are eluding me at the moment.
You said what?
Words are eluding me at the moment.
Okay.
The right way to.
Yeah, the right way is just the way it comes out.
Yeah, but I don't want to sound like a doofus.
It's okay.
I don't have anything. I have it, but it's a whole bunch of jumbled thoughts and like going over things in my head and trying to.
I'll lead with this, and I'll tell you what I think has stayed.
Sorry.
No, I mean just that way. Maybe it'll help you
organize,
sort it, but then maybe it'll help. The way I say it may help you figure out how you want to say it. I feel like I've been just kind of goofy.
Yes.
Like very like willing to try and joke around and like be playful. Yes. I think that's been at the core of me. If I like my memories that I can hold on to and rely upon, I've always just been very like. Mm-hmm. I guess more higher energy, but just like willing to have fun, just like goof off, like not be overly serious. Mm-hmm. As to where people probably nowadays would, they may not believe that as much. But no, I definitely have. I mean, that's a thing that I feel is me. You know, like the kid in me is still present in that way of. Yes. I just want to have fun. I just want to like try and enjoy it. I think that's the only one I feel I can really say that's been persistent throughout time for me.
Well, and something else. All the different things you used to drive.
That's remained very true as well.
Yes. even as a little kid, like you drove
Everything.
everything that your dad or Papa would let you get your
Let
hands
me get
on.
my hands on. Yeah, if they gave me the keys, it was a wrap because I'd figure that motherfucker out. Shit, they didn't have to give them to me. Sometimes I'd go get the keys and figure it out.
So, yes, that's definitely still very much a thing.
That one is true.
See, you helped me figure. But yeah, little jokester, prankster,
Yeah.
definitely. That goes. I can take that all the way back to like
Small. Yeah.
and walking. You would always put your hands up for somebody to pick you up, and then your dad one day, I came home from work and he's like, "Come here, you gotta see this. You're never gonna believe this. You're in a little bedroom and you're in there walking around like not a care in the world. Like I got this." And then all of a sudden your dad stepped on the ground real hard and you're like, "Sit down." Right then. Like he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, "How long has he been doing that?" He's like, "I have no idea. I just caught it today." You were like 13, 14 months old at that point. Yeah.
Playing with you.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Couldn't talk, but boy, I can
hold on to for a long time for me is I care a lot about people. Like I feel deeply. I think that's something that's always been that sensitive thing. That's something I feel has been true for me for forever. Still very present with me today. That one I feel is very real for me. Maybe not always maybe it wasn't created in the best way, but and that's not anything to you. It's just in the nature of those first few years of my life, unfortunately. Maybe didn't set me up for a great thing in that way. Though different versions of me have been present at different times. That's one that I feel has been there always.
Right.
I think I know the answer to this one, but I want to ask it anyway. Was there ever a time you were scared for me but didn't show it?
I didn't show it to you, or I didn't show it at all?
I guess maybe either. Like, if it was either or.
That would be when you're in the military. That wasn't what you were expecting, was it?
No, I figured it'd be something to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that wasn't something that I knew how to even address or to... I didn't know how to help you with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to help myself with it. I didn't know how to... the idea of a child you carried around for 9 months going to another country. And, I mean, at least that is one thing about technology that I was appreciative of because there were ways to communicate back then. Before that, it was phone and letters. And, it wasn't...
Yeah.
But that honestly was the time I was the most scared.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't. The not knowing.
Yeah.
Or, but I told you also, I guess it was my way of trying to hide it. My fear is like, I'm the mom. I only need to know what I need to know. I'm on a need to know basis. I don't want to know details because I didn't know how to.
Yeah, I get it. It's tough. The other one I expected you to say, I guess, was after, like when things were not so good for me.
Yes.
And I guess when I finally let it be clear to you that things weren't so good for me mentally.
Yes.
That I was really struggling with depression then, and with time and the show and our relationship improving, you've learned a lot more about how truly not so great it was for me. Yeah, it was rough for a while. I was scared for me then. There was a long period I didn't know how I was going to make it to the end of that.
Right.
And I was convinced that it was gonna win. It was gonna overtake me. It just felt like too much. And it was a cascade of things, between the thing with Daddy and then Colin's death, and then the stuff from the army, and it was just It was just like layering those on. I mean, one of those individually is tough to deal with, but then I never really dealt with any of them.
Right.
It was just like, here's another thing, and another thing, and another thing. And no matter how good or strong or tough or resilient you are as a person, like there's a limit. There's a threshold that you can handle. And I was convinced that I just never had to deal with any of it. And eventually it was like, you thought, motherfucker. I think it's one of the few times I've felt separate from my own existence in a way. Like I knew how I felt and I knew the pain I was in, but I didn't know how to deal with it. Like it kind of just felt like insurmountable to me for so long. Years, unfortunately. For anyone is if you truly are in some hardship or thing that you feel is unrecoverable or insurmountable, or the you can't beat it as you can. And there are people there who would rather be there for you in the hard times than never see you again. And that would rather you call them and
keep them awake.
Yeah. And keep them awake for many more years to come.
Yep.
It's not easy. And it's not meant to be, because again, if you can make it to the other side of it, what you get out of it's much greater than what it cost you for a little while. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to have you and all the friends I do have. And the people who love me and care about me and who support me and show up for me in some way. Yeah, if I had made some poor choices, I wouldn't have that. What part of yourself did you lose or find through raising me and Big Nasty?
She's going to kill you for that. You know that, right?
It's my sister, Big Nasty. That
lose or find.
Yeah.
Keep trying. Keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Mm-hmm.
When it would have been easier to, I guess that would be what I found. A resilience. I didn't always have it. And it could come and go too, depending on the situation.
Yeah, I get that. Fuck.
With her, I had to just keep putting the effort to let her know, because I was absent for a long time.
Yeah.
That she mattered, that she was important.
Mm-hmm.
To show up when I could. Not because I didn't want to, but just don't really think I lost anything except maybe my youthful ignorance.
You're supposed to lose that, though.
Well, it doesn't come with a manual, and the people that try to write the manuals don't have kids, so what the hell do they know anyway?
There you go.
With you, don't stop believing. Don't stop going, because on the other side, what is it we talked about the other day? The magic?
The magic you're looking for is still in the work you're avoiding.
And the work is with that. It's not. It's work. It's not supposed to be fun. But when it comes after it.
Yeah.
And we had to do a lot of work.
Still have to do work.
Yeah. I'm talking about with us too.
No, that's yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
There's still
maintenance work that has to be done. So that you don't inadvertently do something to set it back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the metaphor. It's like it's easy to tear something down. It's much harder to build it.
Oh God, yeah.
Kind of like what you said earlier to the comment on the, when to fight for, or throw your hands up and say fuck it, because it's way easier to just tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
Way easier.
It's easier to give up.
Yeah. It's hard to build the house of cards. You just what house of cards, right? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I think there is some. That's not that doesn't exist that way holistically and proved to be true in so many different avenues for no reason. Like that's true in every aspect of our life.
And I'm still learning with both of you.
Yeah.
You know, to do things better. And then I'm still mom at times too. I still call bullshit. Or like you and I like to call you an asshat. That's your nickname.
She does call me that pretty frequently.
And I call your sister out too.
Well, that's a bit easier than me. I don't leave a lot for you to call me out on.
No, you don't.
I try hard not to.
Except when you want to age me faster than I'm aging.
You are getting up there.
No, sir.
Almost 60.
See,
that's my easiest way to get.
You're closer to 30 than I am 60.
I don't say much. Both your kids are about to be 30.
Away. I know.
Damn.
Tell you, I make this look good.
I'm gonna have to make you look good in this damn edit.
Thanks, son.
I love you. This is one I've asked before to guests, but I'm curious as what you'll say. If you could go back and tell like a younger version of you, pre-marriage, pre-kids, something, what would you tell a younger version of you?
Oh God. Show yourself grace. Make a decision and stick to it.
Do you feel you weren't good at that?
I'm still not at times.
Fair enough.
I can say that.
Yeah.
I'm better than I was.
Yeah.
And whether it's our burden to bear or our shortcomings, I mean, there's some things that, you know, you said some of the things that were true about you as a kid that were true now. You know, your core part. But I think there's shortcomings or things that we're always working on.
Yeah.
That is one because, and we've discussed it, you know, fear of making the wrong decision doesn't mean you can just not make a decision.
Yeah, because not making a decision is a decision.
Yes.
It's the worst one because it's when someone else is making for you.
Right.
It's the one that's guaranteed to make you unhappy.
Yeah. And I would tell myself to not, especially my younger self, don't worry what anybody else is thinking or saying about you.
Yeah. If I could offer younger you a piece of advice, if I met, even if I talked to this aged version of you, if I talked to you at 29, 30, I'd tell you, don't be so scared to ask or for help or rely on other people.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what they're there for. So you know the people that are actually like there for you is that they are willing to do those things. It doesn't make you less than or weaker or incapable or anything of that nature. Like you're still good enough and still as capable. Just because someone helps you doesn't make you lesser than in any way. I think you made things harder for yourself at times than you needed to.
Yeah.
Even just in what
That's
I saw.
that stubbornness.
Yeah. I've been quick to realize that I do need people.
Yeah.
That I can't do this by myself.
I definitely realize that now.
Yeah.
But 20 years ago, you couldn't tell me that.
Yeah. See, I don't have many more left.
Okay.
For you. This one's a deep one. Okay. If for some unfortunate circumstance this was the last conversation we get to have, what would you want to make sure that you told me?
God. What would I make sure I told you? That's the I'm absolutely drawing a blank at the moment. I mean, I have like a smart ass comment, and I have a lighthearted comment, and
Mom's not so good.
Take the road less traveled. Eat the cake. Go on a damn adventure. Give the hug. Whether they want it or not. You gotta help me out here, kid.
I'm asking what you would say.
I know, but
if I was put in the situation to tell Melanie something in a similar vein, I think these things are like they're supposed to be hard, right? It's not supposed to be an easy answer to this,
right?
Because it feels uncomfortable and kind of like, right? And that's what it should be. Because if you just had like a preloaded answer, I'd be like, okay, whatever. That's obviously fake.
Okay.
I would want to tell him so many more times that I love him. I want him to remember that, despite whatever happens, whatever he does, whatever he gets wrong or right, that I love him. I need him to know that.
Now you make me feel like a bad mom because I didn't even think of that. I'm trying to think.
You're trying too hard.
That's not. I'm trying too hard.
I want to tell him I love him and that I'll always be proud of him, and that to me he'll always be enough. And whether he gets everything he wants out of life or he doesn't get it, my love for him will always be the same. And I tell him that it's going to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. A good life is a life that makes you a good person. And that's a pretty hard life.
That was good. You didn't say it was easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I could try to think of a million things I would want to say to him, but the core fundamental things, right? Again, like that I love him and that I'm proud of him.
I'm always proud of you.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'm sorry I didn't think of things like that.
It's okay.
I want something that you're going to look at 10 years later and be like, oh, yeah. See, my mom told me that,
Mm-hmm. I told, at field day yesterday, I told Em, I said, the most beautiful part of our children are that they're just really smaller versions of us. How I try to be a good father is by, one, obviously making them resilient and tough enough to handle the world in ways that I won't be able to always protect them from.
Right.
But to giving them the things I didn't get, the things that I needed.
Yes.
What did 10-year-old me need that I didn't get? And how can I give that to them?
I get that. I was very much like that with you.
Yeah.
Because I did things for you that I didn't get.
Mm-hmm. But I try to do it in the non. I think I'm really adamant in the non, like the affirmation, the words, like the knowledge. What are the things that, like, if I would have had them, I probably would have been better off.
Right.
And so I said, as much as we say, like, yeah, it's me and someone else, like, yeah, but it's still you. That's still you there. And so it's hard to think at 10, like, what did I need at 10? Well, now you're looking at it. And you see how they think, and you see how they act, and you see what's important to them, and you see what they do need. And how can you give them maybe the things that you needed? And I think that's how you heal yourself fully. That's the superpower of having children. Those people who are thinking kids are this pain in the ass. They are. But
they're supposed to be.
Yeah, because you're a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So, but if you really want to heal the deepest parts of you collectively and grow in a way that is irreplicable, if that's even the word. You can't replicate it, but there's nothing else like it as by being a parent. So to the thing that happened to me last night that I didn't tell you about, well, because when I haven't talked to you much today, before us getting together tonight, is I was obviously, I showed you that one card. Back to what happened last night. I had I want to give you this. It's to explain what happened last night. So I started going through some of my dad's stuff. It's been kind of prevalently on my mind. I told you, I had a dream about him the other day.
Yes.
And that's a rare thing for me. For anyone who doesn't know, I don't often dream. I don't think I told you that much, but I don't often dream anyway, but let alone about him. And so I started kind of going through like pictures and stuff, and I found that he had this. I remember making this for you for Mother's Day
oh my gosh,
many years ago.
You are special because you provide a home. Oh God, it's hard.
You need me to help you? It's kind of faded too, but
when you tell stories, funniest is when you tell stories. I love you. You rock. Love Austin. that 2009 or 2004?
2004. I remember I was like 9 when I made this.
That would be 2004.
It's 20 years old.
This would have been Mother's Day 2004, so you would have been 8.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 9 yet.
8.
So, wow.
You can keep that. It's yours. I gave it to you a long time ago. Apparently, somehow ended up with Daddy, so.
You had a way of keeping up with things.
Everything. I stumbled upon this one. I don't know if I can read it again because I literally spent the other half of 2 hours crying after I read it the first time.
Oh, you're really going to do this, aren't you?
I'm going to try to. Actually, I'm not going to read it out loud because I just can't. Like, I just can't.
Okay.
So I'll let you read it. It's something my dad wrote almost, I think, 27 years ago now.
I don't know if I ever saw this before. Almost 28 years ago.
Almost. I think it hurts me to read that now so much because, one, I have the collective view of... Here, I'll take it.
Yep, that's yours.
Yeah. I'm a father.
Mm-hmm.
And so I read those words not only as like a son, but I read them as a father. The way I know he felt about me, the irony there is that the things he's saying about me then are the things I feel for him now. Like quite literally. As I read this, I'm not going to read it all, but I wish you were here. I can still feel your gentle touch. I love you so much. I miss you. I remember one of the last things he told me. He still said this to me all the time. He said, no matter how big you are, you're my baby.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that till he died. I sit alone tonight and cry. I long so much for you to be near. And please don't leave me again. A feeling of helplessness and loneliness. I wish and pray you could stay. When does the hurt go away? Where'd Daddy go? I just have a lot of mixed emotions with the unfortunate reality of how early in life I lost him and how important he was to me. I easily get envious and upset of even you in the way of like you had like so much more like relative time with him. Like I was like trying to talk bad about myself because I was dumb, I was naive, I was a kid. You were a grown up in that space with him. You got to like talk to him and connect with him and things that like I just didn't get to. And for always, like he believed in me when no one else did. It just sucks. I didn't get to prove him right then. Like now, yeah, sure. But he had so much hope and faith and belief in me. I do feel it was wasted. I just wish that I could have shown him that he was right. And that
Who knows?
And that belief like wasn't misplaced. And that in some instances that he saved me. Like could have been just like the one before me. And in so many ways, until a good portion of 10 years ago, I was almost a mirror of that. But not anymore. It's tough. I know you know, but it's just tough. I keep thinking it'll get easier with time.
I don't know if it necessarily gets easier.
Well, I'm not getting more used to it.
That's not what I was. Because I'm past 37 years with my dad, and I did not have. We were working on rebuilding.
Yeah.
Because I was such a stubborn teenager.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna get used to it, but there's gonna be maybe less Mack truck days. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's manageable more days than not. I don't feel like it's going to kill me most days.
Yeah. And then there's still going to be something.
Yeah.
We'll be trucking along thinking not everything's just fine. But,
yeah.
Yeah. Doing new things. And then, but what did it say at the top? Hold on to the memories.
Yeah. It's so easy to get sucked into the regret.
Yes.
Why didn't I call more? Why didn't I say this or do that? Or so. But I don't know if I ever told you this. I don't think I have, but he told me when I was 13. He said, "Is one time when you were like on your period and kind of pissed off."
Oh, good grief, son.
She was moody back then. She's still moody now. It's just menopause, so it's different. But anyway, he said, he said, if anyone can reach her, it's you. He said, and if anyone's ever going to be able to get her to think or change the way she does things, it's going to be you. And I was like, are you fucking crazy? That woman almost just killed both of us. You think she's going to listen to me? You're fucking crazy. And then as I got to be a little bit older, like 17, 18, these things rapidly, unfortunately, approached the end. He still held me to that. And even more insistently was adamant that made me promise him that I would continue to try. And then reminded me that if anyone was going to get through to you, it was going to be me. And I begrudgingly, at that time, accepted his request to continue to try, to continue to make the effort, to continue to reach out. I don't regret it.
Sure, there weren't some life-sucking moments having me for mom.
They haven't all been great, but it's okay. I only get one of you, so I can either choose to, as I said earlier, what's the alternative? I know what right now it's going to give me, or before. I know what's going to happen if I didn't do it. But I didn't know what would happen if I did do it. I just kept trying. And I think the unique role that Mr. Boozer played in both of our lives is that he knew both of us up to a level, unfortunately, that many people don't.
Yeah.
Or can't. And he did tell me when I was a little older, he said, you and once I had Bella, he said, "You don't understand how, like, essentially the impact I have on you because I'm your son, and the way that I can get a little deeper and hit a deeper side emotionally, and things linger that I say to you, like the thing I said when I was a kid about you working so much and things like that."
Mm-hmm.
At 13, I was like, "Yeah, you're fucking crazy, dude." And even at 18, I was like, "You're kind of crazy." By then I wasn't as more on the you hated me, but I was like, I don't think she really likes me at all, man. I don't know what you're fucking convinced is gonna happen out here. Like,
I always loved you.
Yeah, that was something. Maybe I should have been more preface to this, because someone's gonna be like 2 hours into this episode and be like, "What the fuck?" So, for context, maybe I should shift this to the front. It's only been like 3 years, like 2.5, 3 years of us being in this phase of life and having the relationship we do. Because it was shortly after I went to therapy, and that's in August. That'll be 3 years.
When did you graduate?
3 years ago. This week.
Wow. Where's the time go?
It doesn't wait for any of us.
Yeah, I would say it was right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Right after you graduated and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I remember. I'll throw this one at you. It had started before that, but we hit a bump in the road around Mother's Day and graduation that year. Because I felt a little left out. And I was pissed about it.
I know, we've talked about it since then.
I was pretty pissy about it. My feelings were hurt. That's what it was. I was like, but then it was like after that, it's like getting past that part, and then I even remember talking about it. I was like, "The hell's wrong with him?" Yeah, when you started doing that, like towards the end of that year. Yeah, that'd have been 22. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
You've been trying before that.
I had been. Painfully for me.
Yes. Yes.
I wouldn't say like estranged, but we didn't nearly talk at the rate we do now. For context, now we talk basically every day. In some capacity.
Yeah. Some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Mm-hmm. It was a very distant relationship before.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's why this is so special and important to me. Because I feel like I waited a long time for it.
Yeah, me wondering if you're ever going to ask.
I'm talking about the relationship being what it is,
sorry.
not the podcast, you fucking turd.
Oh, I'm a turd. Sorry.
I'm talking about us having a good relationship.
Oh. Why? I already admitted you've been trying for a while.
No, I know, but
discrediting you.
but I'm just saying, like, fuck. Should I do this much damn legwork to get this motherfucker moving anyway? But oh well.
Things happen when they're supposed to.
Fucking it was supposed to.
If you try to rush them, there's gonna be all kinds of problems.
Like I say, forever.
Huh?
You need a dick. Now I got bills.
Oh God! Shut up. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, sir.
Well, I will, I guess, conclude with that I'm the most grateful for how things are now and how they continue to develop and evolve with time. You're undoubtedly, as I've told you, like one of the most important people in my life now. And I enjoy the fact that we can, do things like this and the things that we've continued to do over the last few years. And finally having what I think is supposed to be a normal relationship between children and their parents.
Is there anything about either one of us that would be considered normal?
Probably not, but
okay.
That's what makes it fun. You're all fucked up.
Definitely entertaining.
You won't get bored with us.
No. You still working on that stand-up act?
Is that what we're calling
Remember?
it? Oh, yeah.
No, we used to talk about that.
Hey, I could do some stand-up. I'm telling you. I could keep people laughing for a while. That's like
throw your sister under the bus a little more.
I got big nasty jokes for days. Yeah, I don't want me to get started. She'll keep me here for 2 more hours. I'll get started on big nasty jokes. Before these people have to, if you've made it this far, good luck. Wow. If you could share a quote or a piece of advice with someone listening, what would you share?
I should have known this was coming. I've listened to enough podcasts.
You've listened to enough. You should have known.
I was actually thinking about today. What do I know he's going to ask? And here I am again, speechless.
It's rare.
I'm telling you.
You used to write all kinds of shit down. You can't remember anything?
I can.
Don't try too hard. Just
Don't try too hard.
But what's the first thing you think of? Like when you hear this and you've heard this multiple times, me asking other people, like what do you think of? Like what's some of the things that just instantly...
I honestly think of grace.
Okay.
To yourself, to others, in whatever. To never stop believing. Never stop. It sounds like I said start. Sorry. Never stop believing in yourself.
Never stop believing in yourself.
Because you can do amazing things.
You can. One of my favorite Alex Hormozi quotes is, "The world belongs to optimists." Because first you have to believe it can happen. It's just the optimists get to be right, and the cynics get to be right, and the optimists get to be rich. Cynics are 99% right, but they're 100% wrong on the times it matters. The world belongs to optimists because you at first have to believe it can happen or it never will happen. Doesn't matter if everybody else
believe it.
You.
You have to speak it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And don't do it the first time. Do it again.
Yeah. I'm going to read something about my dad that he wrote sizably 30 years ago-ish. So my dad liked to write a lot. He wrote poems and stuff, kind of like the one you read just a minute ago. I may somehow take a picture of it or something and put it in the footage so that way those can read along, because I just can't. I can't read it out loud again. So, and this one, it's a little thing he has about love. And he says, "What is love? Is it real or is it fake? Is it a tremor or a great heartache? Will it last forever until the end of time? Will it go endlessly and soar like an eagle in our minds? Or will it ripple through the ocean shore? Can love be forgotten sometimes? Remember, or burn forever like an eternal flame? Can it have edges sharp and slender? Or will it be dull just the same? Love is something very hard to explain, but I am one who can never complain. Although undefined and misunderstood, I know that love is true and good." By Mr. Jeffrey Boozer himself, folks. I believe that's a haiku, right? That I just read?
No, that's not a haiku.
Okay, fuck. Oh, you're right. That's not a haiku. That's a... what kind of poem is this?
I don't know the technical proper term for him, but there's a lot of rhyming going on there. That was a thing.
Well, yeah, but it's like there was the beginning and the end.
There's only so many syllables.
I know, yeah. Sorry, it's like it rhymes at the beginning and the end, and then the middle is like it doesn't. I forget, that's a certain style. But anyway, that's from Mr. Jeffrey Boozer himself. Blessed you with it. I agree with him. I think, though it's confusing and hard to understand. Look, it is true and good. Well, to everyone listening, I hope you enjoyed it. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms, including my own mom.
Thank you.
That we love you. And we're grateful for all of you and what you do. And again, quite literally wouldn't be here without you. So thank you. And thank you for doing this on short notice with minimal prep.
No prep.
No prep.
Speak truth.
I love you. So I
love
appreciate you. Well, everyone else, I do love you as well. So no one gets jealous or has their feelings hurt. But I love you, and thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy it.